morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast as Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of the day.
So call in at 888-565-1470 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning. Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, cause it's showtime. Oops. Good morning to you.
I spent all morning setting this thing up. And with one woof, you took it all away.
I know. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Morning. Good morning to the cafe breakfast. Lack of a better word. Coming out victory parties the way I call it.
Coming out, my friend.
Everybody's getting back to business. And if you ain't getting back to business, then you're a little short.
It is time to get back to business. Congratulations.
For?
Boca is officially reopened.
Boca is officially reopened. And for those of you who've been sleepwalking, it's time to shake off. What did you say?
Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, because it's showtime.
You know, it's really funny because I don't know what a sleepies is, but I'm
the
assuming.
sleepy things in your eyes. Shake it off.
I used to call that caca.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you, too. My phone.
Showtime.
My phone is on. I just want to say morning. Listen, it's time to get up. It's time to shake it off. It's time to get going. And I want to make announcements today.
I'm really scared, everyone. We are doing a disclaimer because I do not know what this man is going to say.
Well, the bottom line here is that we have to do things that are different, like the stupid wire, which I can't stand. We got to do different things.
Yeah.
And what I would like to do, the proposal that I have, and I put it out to Beast and everything else, is we're going to do our show in different locations.
Okay.
I want to do the morning or the afternoon. You can pick a hat. Let the kids pick whatever they want. I want to do it at the WNN Studios. I want to do that. I want to go down to Miami and do it at our Miami location studios. I spoke a little bit to Mr. Coffee Brewer, who said, by the way, he'll be on the show this week. Because these people are trendsetters. They are the most stablest thing in the market right now. What's going on in the industry, and they're setting it up. So they want us to come in and wave. And the question is, when do we and how do we open up to have people? But the object of the game is that when we're in here and in Miami is to invite people to come on down, have a cup of coffee, maybe have a bagel, maybe have a donut. It all depends who wants to play ball. Depends on the time of the day. It could be a cup of rum. Dignity could be there handing out pizza. Who knows? But the object of the game is to shake it off and let's go. Not talking about being reckless. Not talking about do what they did in Naples with everybody in there. Aunt Jemima ended up going out there and they closed it down. You know, stupid things will get you stupid results. Not what I'm talking about. Little by little.
Little by little.
Hairdressers today open.
I'm really excited. My hair,
Everybody
thank
is.
you.
But do you know what's going to happen is everybody's going to go out to get a haircut and color. Your next appointment is going to be December.
I have to tell you, I cut my hair last night. Can you tell?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I cut my hair last night.
Actually, it looks pretty good. I was going to make a joke, but I can tell.
I cut my hair last night, and Chelsea goes, why couldn't you wait until tomorrow? I go, I just couldn't. My interpretation is I'm going to get in and get out. So instead of doing the whole fluff and primp thing, just color and go. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to blow it. I'm going to go home and do all of that. Go in and get out.
You know how I could tell that you cut your hair?
How?
I could see your ears.
That's just because it's behind my ears.
No, because you've thinned out your hair. What you did was you didn't cut the length. Oh, you did cut the length. It isn't that you cut it. What you did is you thinned it out.
I kind of layered it.
Yeah, I could tell.
I got a little scissor happy.
We're going to.
And I did my nails this weekend, so again, I'm not quite ready to get back into the salons, but a little bit, slowly but surely, we're going to get there.
I went to Costco
on
Saturday. And Costco has a formula where you have to line up 6 feet apart to go in. Got to have masks. And then once you get in the store, all hell breaks loose. I had an argument with so many people.
Really? Really?
Yes, because Costco, I don't know, must be unlimited, and there's thousands of people trying to get into the store. And there is no meat shortage in Costco, let me tell you. They had the most beautiful steaks, New York steaks. I bought 4, 5, because we did something for Mother's Day we've never done before. But the meat was outstanding. The food, outstanding. The one thing I miss is they don't have those little tasty things.
No more sampling.
No more sampling.
No more free food for you.
No more lunch. No more lunch.
No more lunch for you. Oh, I do have to say that I got a lot of things to say actually after your Costco situation. Did you have a nice Mother's Day?
Mother's Day was fantastic.
Good.
It was, there was a lot of mixed emotions because, I don't have my mom this
Right.
year. But I did wish as many moms as I knew Happy Mother's Day. And we did something different. Linda, who happens to be a mom, decided to cook all day, which breaks my heart to say this, but she loves cooking. So what we did was we put dinners together for Sarah, Freddie, the baby, and Valerie. And then we dropped them off. And we have this game where we leave at the same time to see who gets back the furthest, the first. And she always beats me because I guess Sarah's closer. But it was different. I invited Gio in Tampa. I was going to buy him dinner, but he had other plans. But it was different. I should have done that for my sister, right? But I'm afraid to order food for her in New York. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
But it was different. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and it was a different. Yours?
It was rainy.
So what?
It was rainy. Mother's Day was nice. It was quiet. Saturday was amazing. We went down to my son's because he graduated law school on Saturday. So
If
again,
I see one more,
congratulations.
If I
It is
see-
about the you.
Enough with that already.
I have to tell you though, I went down to his apartment. He and his girlfriend and her parents flew in because it was graduation. I got fill you in on that also. And it was really nice. We had a Zoom call. You were very much missed. You did not join us on the Zoom call. Yeah.
I don't
Do
know
you
how
feel
to
bad?
work that. I don't know how to
Do you
work
feel bad yet?
I don't know how to work that.
You own a production company, you don't know how to work a Zoom call?
I don't use Zoom.
Anyway, it was quite lovely. We had about 25 people on the Zoom call. He was kind of surprised that we were there. We ordered in dinner, and then I said, no time like the present, let's go over to campus. And I hadn't been to campus in 3.5 years. The day I was at campus he went for orientation before he had even applied. It was Thanksgiving 3.5 years ago. That day, you and I got our first big contract for the Stem Cell Summit.
Well, I remember that.
I remember that day vividly, leaving the auditorium, taking that phone call from you and that company. We got our first big contract. He then applied, he got in 3 years, in like the blink of an eye, and we got to go over there, see the transformation of campus. And what I liked is it kind of gave, I think, everyone a little bit of closure. Because he got to go back to campus, take some pictures. Graduation has been postponed until December. They're doing a walking, but it's never the same as the day you submit your last paper, the day you say, I did it, I made it. So it was beautiful out.
Do you
in Coral
remember your
Gables.
graduation?
I do. And it was right there. So that was kind of
How many
interesting.
people were there? Thousands?
Sure.
Do you remember who was your speaker?
No.
Did it have an impact on you?
The speaker?
Graduation.
Sure.
But you don't remember the speaker?
I remember being there in the lawn from my undergraduate, and then I graduated. My grad school was also at University of Miami, and that was in the music center. So we were walking around the law school, happened to be across from there, and a lot of memories. I remember being on campus, sunbathing, my dorm. I got to drive past my dorm. I mean, all the things I did for undergrad and grad kind of came full circle 30 years later. It was kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
It's kind of cool that I had that opportunity. I had it with Aaron, and so that was nice. And then yesterday it rained, so we kind of did an early Mother's Day graduation, so that was great. And that was it.
Kind of cool.
Lovely.
I loved my graduation.
So that was lovely. So that was our weekend, and congratulations. The yard sign looks amazing. Thank you to Promo Stuff For You, who's very happy with that. Here in Boca, people do all these things, and it becomes a staple in Boca. Boca is not the normal place to raise a family or to live when you see yard signs everywhere. There were none in Coral Gables. He was the only one, and we drove down and across and through the Gables and everything. He was the only yard sign, so that was really, really nice. Kind of trend-setting there.
It gives him like a send-off to his next chapter, which shall be...
Which starts today. Today he starts studying for the bar.
Yeah.
Today he
That's-
starts studying
that's-
for the bar.
that's the
Classes
next-
start today. You get
that's the
2
next
days
step.
off and you're right back in it, but that's what it is.
That's the next one. Well, he was happy. But I'm going to tell you, if I see one more U. Now, I went to a U as well. Okay, but I got to come up with a different sign because they tell me that Miami is the original U.
It's the original you. So I get to talk to Benny Blades about it on Thursday, which is kind of cool also. I know. It's it takes me so back to all of these incredible memories that, you know what, when you get them and you get to smile just for a little bit in the middle of a pandemic, it's kind of nice.
It is nice. It's kind of a nice change, which leads us to the getting out, getting going, making it happen again,
Moving on up.
getting it all up. It's funny, I have a meeting today with Steve O from New York Sounds, and I came up with the tag New York Sounds Victory Tour for his deal. So we're going to talk to him and some other friends as well. You got to make a little noise.
Have to say, congratulations to everyone. We made it. If they had told us 2 months ago, when they did tell us we were going into all of these phases, I remember getting every text from you, we're being shut down. I went, no. And you said, you need food for 2 weeks. And I went, no. And you went, yes. And little by little.
It's been
and
more
they shut it down for a month.
Almost 2 months.
And now, really, is 2 months. The week of March 16th, we started clearing this place out. We are now, today's May 11th. And do you know what today is? I sent you the picture this morning.
Today is the first interview Dawn had
4 years ago.
on the Two Boys from Brooklyn.
Crazy, right?
And we were looking for the Broad because we wanted to call it Two Boys from Brooklyn on the Broad. And I remember, the one thing I remember was you had some green juice you used to bring into the studio.
I did. I used to drink matcha tea all the time.
Ugh, I never forget that. I remember.
4 years ago today was my first interview. So all of you who are out there having your first interview with us today,
Yeah, we posted
it's how I started. Isn't that
It
amazing?
has to be more than 4.
It just feels like a few lifetimes, right?
It's like 40. I don't know, but I think it was more than 4. I think your timeline is incorrect.
I do not think so. It was before my 50th birthday.
Do you remember when it turned into the cafe, who the first interview was?
No. Do you?
No. I think I do.
And June officially is our 4-year anniversary of it being the cafe. So we're going to celebrate that and do some big coming out party.
Do we always do that every year?
Every year.
We have a celebration, right? It was at Crazy Uncle Mike's last year?
Yep.
The pressure's on June.
I know. The pressure's on because we have to do it carefully and socially distancing and all of those. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to do a party, a coming out party, but that's in a month. So that's all things to look forward to.
We'll come up with something crazy. But talking about celebrations, what do we got today?
We got Marnie Goldman joining us. It is her 50th birthday. So
I don't know if we should be saying that.
well, look, I don't know. Look right behind her.
I mean, she looks like she's 12.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
I already love you
birthday.
guys, but thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I joined the club.
Welcome to the Big 5-0 Club. I got to say, it's kind of better on the other side so far.
So far, it is magical, and we're 50 and fabulous, so come on. It's fabulous.
You have a whole set there already. I see hats and balloons and...
My daughter, every year on your birthday, we make a big birthday breakfast, and this is just the morning one. Wait till you see the later cake later, but yes, you wake up to a big, so it's really, this is probably the best birthday I've ever had, truly. So any happy anniversary to you, so now we'll always remember my birthday and your anniversary.
I was thinking about that this morning. Now I never have to worry about what my timeline says. I'm always going to remember it's May 11th and it's your birthday.
Exactly, so we're connected always.
See, things do happen as we get older in life. Good things do happen. So those who think life is over when you hit 50, absolutely not. I think it's just getting better.
Right now, at this year's old, my life is beginning at 50.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
I'm
Thanks to you guys.
So we decided to our Monday Marnivation, and it happens to be your birthday, so all in one. What is our Monday morning Marnivation?
We have 2. 3 words changed my life. Never give up. My book that has come out, literally, the first sentence is, it was May 1987, my birthday. Now we're May 2020 and my birthday. I didn't think I would make it to 50. And here's my advice. Find my motivational, find your people. During the worst time ever, and this is going to segue into my show tomorrow night, which is about finding your people and my guest PR. If I did not have the job of my dreams, which never seemed like a job, during a time I didn't think I would survive, if my people were not there for me, every day going to work, there was laughter. I didn't have a home, but I had my people. So right now, especially with what everyone's going through, if you like collecting buttons, find that group online and talk about collecting buttons. Right now, I found you guys are my new people. This new world that I am stepping into because you are my people now. And it has just helped me throughout this entire crisis we've been going through. And find your people. And guys, you will see tomorrow night on my show with TR and I how he found me and I found him, and it saved my life. I would not have made it without that job, which was really a family. They became my people, my family, and for all of you, reach out. You will hear tomorrow night how crucial, especially now it is.
Who do you have coming on tomorrow night?
His name is T.R. Durfee, and T.R. Durfee is one of the original actors down here in Miami, a very well-known casting director. He owns Full Blue Dog Acting and one of my best friends. And we talk about, if it was not for me having that job, auditioning people for commercials, at the time that was one of my lowest, I wouldn't have survived. So I want to show people how finding those people when you least expect it, how crucial it is. They became my family. There was horror on one end of my life that I walked into my office and we laughed to the point of tears. So that is just something everybody needs, that find your people that make you laugh.
You know what's interesting that you say? I think we find people when we least expect it. If I had ever thought meeting you and being interviewed would have led to this in a million years, I could have put money on it.
Never in a million years. If you would have told me 3 months ago, well, a year ago, I will tell you how in 1 year, this time last year, I was sitting in a one-bedroom apartment crying. I did not know why I was here. Why was I born? And then I picked myself back up, wrote a book, published a book, had my show. I mean, look at everything that happened in 1 year from today because I didn't give up. And I just randomly went about my business, and I got that good morning from the Brooklyn Cafe, which truly changed my life when you least expect it. And it's true, it's possible. I didn't give up. Now I have a book, and you guys, and I can't. It's just so, this is the most amazing birthday I have ever had in my entire life. Truly, you guys are, I just want to hug you, but I can't. But, you know, I am virtual.
You know, the amazing thing about people is if you look at, take one thing that you do better than anybody else, that you think, let's go there, that you think you do better than anybody else. It could be how you mop your floor.
I don't do that better than anyone. I
but
just
let's
do
assume anybody does, right? Because that's a real simple task to do. And you mop it, and it's elegant, and you're doing the ballroom dancing piece, and it shows some kind of creativity about how you do something in life. It could be anything. It could be how you're a soccer mom, you're a coach, you're a male figure to somebody. Anything that you do in your life, and you do it well. And that's creativity. Everything else now that you bring forward is a platform. If you communicate well, okay? If you have a certain look and you're able to help people because everybody seems to open up to you, another gift. It's really simple. It has nothing to do with what's around you. It has to do with what you build around you. And it's an interesting conversation I had this weekend. When somebody wants to change their circle of friends. Because the new saying is, if you're surrounded by negative people, you heard crazy Uncle Mike say the same thing, it's going to bring you down.
Well, they say you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with the most.
But my contention is that if I am surrounded by 5 negative people, then I'm the only light. And my job is to make sure they get a sprinkle a day, because you know what those 5 people are going to end up doing? They're going to end up getting negative around 100,000 people. And you ain't going to find a circle of friends, because negativity is more effective than positivity. Okay?
Yeah,
you have been 50 years on this planet, and you've lived 50 years of creativity. It is now that you're pushing it forward. It is the only difference. It's always been there. This one I asked to work 4 years, and
I can't believe.
she says no.
It's just everything. How I am so beaming right now from the two of you. It's when you see your people, like this new world I stepped into, it changed me. And toxic is toxic. And when you're around that, it's much easier for people like you said to fall into that negativity. But it takes a lot. It's so much easier just to smile and just let it go in peace. Like really, when I think last year, my God, I was sitting in a little apartment on the floor crying, and here I am with my two favorite people, like that I'm with forever. Like this never would have. I never thought it would happen.
She gets giddy.
True.
She gets giddy.
I get it though, because when you think that you're done, you
Yeah.
do not know how you're going to get out of bed. And this glimmer of, maybe you said the glimmer of light or the glimmer of hope, and someone believes in you and says, you can do it. And you go, okay, that's the one positive thing I've got going for me is that. And you take a chance on that when everyone tells you no, don't. And it makes you happy and you can do it, and you look back and say, I am so glad I took a chance on me. And that's
Exactly.
that's the best.
This morning I had a conversation with Linda about how Chuck and Linda have to get up and they got to go to the fire every day. You got to get out of bed, you got to drink your coffee, take a shower, whatever you got to do, and then you got to go to probably the most dangerous aspect short of a war. Maybe it is a war. And you live that kind of life for the next 12 to 14 hours. Those of you waking up today, and I've been already texted by thousands of texts, it looks like, I mean, it's a couple, but it looks like thousands. You got to get up. You got to get out of bed. You got to open that store. You got to get up and you got to do it. You got to take away the fear factor, which is what will always slow you down. You got to put it aside.
Can you believe we have been shut down for 2 months?
And I took the positive, and that's why I'm here smiling. I didn't let myself think, oh, I'm back home, I'm stuck home. I didn't look at it that way. I said, I have an opportunity to share my story now. And that's why looking at the positive and that's where gratitude falls into place, and blessings. And the more grateful you are, I'm going to say this every day, blessings just seem to drop out of nowhere the way you guys came out of left field. I was so grateful for just promoting Peace Field Marnie, and look what came out of it. And now I could have very easily given up last year. I was so helpless, and I just said, no, I know I'm here for a reason, and I'm a testament. So if anybody's helpless, look here with my little crown or tiara, whatever I have, 50, with you talking about true to yourself tomorrow night and finding your people, with my old people and my new people. So it cannot get better than that.
Now, the new lesson to be learned here, it's not so much the gifts that are bestowed upon you, it's what do you do with them?
Yep.
Right?
I was given a gift.
It's that extension from the elbow that we've talked about now 4 years. It doesn't make a difference if God touches baseball, football players, and basketball players. They're touched by the pinky of God. They are given an art that few people can match up to. Few singers. So what do you do?
There'll only be one Michael Jackson.
Well, you have to be able to press it forward. You know, if your gift is that of communication, then you have to communicate to others who have less. So it isn't so much about changing your circle of friends as much as you change yourself to come to the full awareness that you carry the message. And I think that people panic when we talked about this. And when you panic, you can hurt yourself. You can kill yourself. You can kill a whole lot of other people. You know, don't do dumb things and expect good results. It's not going to happen. So it's what you do with it now.
What worries me today is more people are going to be affected by their mental health than the virus.
Yep.
And especially, I'm talking young children from kindergarten and up. Their lives, all of our lives have been affected by this. So keeping your children healthy, because I didn't find out anything was wrong with me until 47. Now is the time to nip in the bud for these kids. It doesn't really matter how old you are. reach out, have your talk to your child. If they used to play football every day and that was their outlet, we can't do it right now, unfortunately. There's something else, like you just said, Freddie, that there's effortless, that comes to people effortless. And this is a time some people have found their new passion, some people are just discovering their new passion. But parents, your children, not themselves, which is obvious for right now, but a little bit more than not, please talk to them and have them talk to someone. Find out what they love to do. Sulking, it's going to get worse and worse, and you don't want that. You got to nip it in the bud for anybody now. Find that joy and find that person or people and get outside and get moving. I made a decision a year ago. I can't lay like this on the floor. There's more for me. And I picked myself up, and in a year, I'm going to come home. Even from when my book starts, 17 No Home, on my birthday, I'm 50, in a magnificent home with the world just beginning. So it's such a testament to never give up.
Isn't that amazing? Never
Yeah.
give up. So on my way
Am I
here
right?
today, we always say follow the signs. Freddie always says there's 7 signs. Sometimes I call them God winks, right? And there's a sign in front of you. And I'm driving here, and I look at the car in front of me, and I look again. Like sometimes you just have to take a pause, and the
Yeah.
license plate said rise above. And I thought, and you could just keep going, but I had to stop in that
Right.
moment at the red light, fortunately, and say, you know what? That is a sign that it is
The
time
signs are everywhere.
to
and I
rise
love
above. So
that
the man
you
or woman who owns that car, thank you for that
Yeah.
God wink, as I call it.
That's
I
it.
love that you stop and notice that, because like signs are everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you start to notice them, you're like, wow, the universe is so in touch with us.
Well, the bottom line is that you got to be in touch with it. You know, and
Yes.
I go back to it again and again and again. And I've asked people again and again and again, who is the greatest at what they do? Are you the greatest at what you do? And you better say yes. Because I'm going to tell you something, life is going to tell you no. It's really easy to get down on yourself. It's really easy to say we are living, like you take the graduates, right? If I was graduating from NYU today, I would have had a sign on my gown that says, I survived the pandemic. I mean, I look at these kids
Yeah, but you
coming
would
out.
do that now at 58. Would you have done that at 22?
Listen, let me tell you something. When I graduated from NYU, Patrick Moynihan was our speaker. I'll never forget it. Because I took the A train with my parents and my sister to my graduation. Because we couldn't drive down to NYU. We took the A train. And I'll never forget that when it was all over, we all got into the NYU fountain. I was soaked. And yes, I would have done it. Because the bottom line is you take what's going on in your life, as negative as it is, and you try to turn it around. You will never forget this graduation. Your children will learn about this. This is history making.
Yeah.
Their grandchildren will learn about this. I mean, think about you survived, man. You survived, you're gonna prosper in one of the toughest times in life, right? That's something that you have to sort of flip your hat to.
And all the graduates.
That's right, it's all about the good stuff.
Marnie, we're going to take a commercial break. You're going to stay with us. I'm going to go grab your book also.
Oh, you got it, of course.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. Give us a call at 888-994-4995. We can wish Marnie a very happy birthday. It is our Monday Marnivation. Boca Raton is opening up, and so will be the cities where you live in soon. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial Providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial Providers are known for. and why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
Here from the VoiceOver Connection, and I'm here to tell you that you're missing out. Everybody has a dream, something that they believe can change their life or even change the world. The difference between letting that dream slip and making it come true all depends on whether or not you can make the world believe your dream too. Here at the VoiceOver Connection, we specialize in selling dreams. Our team of well-connected and influential voices will help take your ambitions, your deepest and wildest aspirations to places that you never imagined you could reach. The time for dreaming is over. You've done enough of that already. It's time to take action. Elevate your business by giving your dream a voice. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or email us at thebrooklynCafeTV@gmail.com. Because a dream is only a dream until you decide to make it real.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we are back on a motivational Monday at the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
I like that spot.
That's our new spot, the VoiceOver Connection. I still always think of another song that I won't say because now everyone else is going to think that, but he's got a great voice.
VoiceOver Connection. What spot?
The Rainbow Connection.
What?
The Rainbow Connection.
No.
The voice from beyond.
We never did that. But yes, the VoiceOver Connection, which is sending the message, you too can get your business going. Give us a holler. We have different platforms, different things. Do you remember the show Soul Train?
Sure.
You remember the song?
No.
Get on the train, Soul Train.
Okay. You want to use that?
I want to call it the World Train.
The World Train. That's good.
I want everybody to get on the train. Let's go. It's going
to be a lot of restructuring, a lot of repositioning, a lot of everything.
But isn't business all about restructuring?
Yeah.
I mean, the last 4 years, have we changed?
Oh my gosh.
Have we changed once only? Twice?
When I think about 4 years, that it's only been 4 years and it all started with an interview. I remember that day, sitting in the parking lot across the street, of course I was, going through my notes over the questions you were going to ask me. I don't think you asked me one.
What question?
Exactly.
Who gave you questions?
Well, I thought I'm going to review everything I know about my business and about what I was doing, and we didn't talk about that at all. And that was 4 years ago.
Was I supposed to ask you that?
Well, I thought.
You thought?
But what apparently
So
no.
hold on. Let me see. Your brain is telling me what I'm supposed to ask. I never told you I said to come down and interview to ask you what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then we talked about everything under the sun.
Everything under the sun, and your partner was hilarious. And
He wasn't hilarious. He was kind of sick.
yeah, but think about, it's only 4 years. You think about where we were and where we are and where we're going. and new shows like Marnie Goldman's show, True to Myself, Peace, Love, Marnie. This book is incredible. We're going to bring Marnie back over because I have a couple questions for her. Because not only can life begin again at 49 or 50, it can be everything you wanted it to be, but it wasn't.
So if I'm 21, I can't start life over?
Absolutely. You can start
24.
any time.
I'm 36.
But you know, at least for women, and Marnie,
And it begins.
at least for women, when you go into that mom zone
What
and
if
you
you're not a
raise your
mom?
kids, well, I can only talk about women, or you're career minded, or whatever it is. But especially if you're in that mom zone and you have your children and you raise your children and they start going to school, and then you can do, even if you've worked or had a career, it changes something in you when they're not home anymore. When you actually have this time to say, I'm approaching this age, now what am I going to do? And you can sit on the floor and cry. Many days I've done that too, sit in bed and cry. Been there, done that. And then you say, I can't do this anymore. Life has far more to offer. I either gonna get or be got, as you say. I can either stay in bed and cry, and the world is going to continue to beat me down, or I realize I'm worth more and I'm gonna get up and go.
Because you're a woman.
Not because I'm a woman, because I'm me. But sometimes I think, and I might be wrong, men, if you are defined by your career, you get up, you go to work every day. You were a stay-at-home dad a lot also, so for you it's different. But for me as a mom, it was very different. I didn't work full-time. I didn't have a career per se. I worked, I raised my kids, I did all the things. I kind of did a jumble of life until it was time to do me. And when it was finally time to do me, I remember, we talk about this all the time. I sat down to write my resume. What was I going to do with the rest of my life? So we talk about this. I was going to be an Uber driver. But I go to the airport and I get lost.
Yeah,
So I
me,
thought,
hello.
what am I going to do? I never thought I would use my degree to do this again.
But here you
You're-
are.
But here I am.
Such an inspiration to me. Like I told you, I watch you in such awe, how effortless, and I love that. But you're such an inspiration to me, truly. I look at you and
Effortless. You have no
Effortless.
clue the amount of effort it took. She sat on her hands. I asked her why. Somebody told me to. Did I ask you to? No. Okay. Ideas. I say to her, well, give me an idea and do it. Well, I don't know. Everything we're doing used to be, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You got to put forth your efforts. Now, she ain't gun shy. I could get Teddy on, and Teddy will tell you. She says, okay, do this. Nah, I don't like that. Change it. Nah, I don't like that. Change it. Let's put it back to where we started. Yes?
But that goes back to where I was. I'm so busy being the people pleaser. It doesn't really matter what we eat for dinner, whatever you want. It doesn't matter where that picture goes, wherever you want. Until you realize if you're going to change, you got to change. If you're going to stand true to who you are and you have an idea and a vision, you got to do it. But along that way, you may have to change your circle of friends back to that, because there are people that were your friends then that may not like what you're doing right now.
But that's their choice, not yours.
What do you think,
You
Marnie?
can still be friends.
Oh, 100%. I love the quote. I think we talked about choose people who choose you. That's one of my favorite quotes. But also people you can sense when you're at your highest, and the people that are there with you emotionally, those are your people. I noticed personally when I was very depressed from my first video, I had a lot more people respond to me, and the healthier I got, people began to back away. And that's okay, because I love who I am. I love who I accomplished. I would have been looking for validation for how come they didn't like my post, or they're not into what I'm saying. But you know what? It really doesn't matter, because I'm into what I'm saying, and there are people who are listening that may not think they are listening. And but people, you lose your people, but it's worth it, because you find out what you don't want, and they teach you what you do want. So I know.
Hold on a second. And then,
Sorry.
Then what people are telling me, what you guys are telling me, is that you are the essence of a combination of what other people want you to be.
I was, but I am
But we
not
never
now.
are. It may seem that way because certain people will influence you stronger than others, but that isn't the deal. You're the one influencing them. I'll give you an example. I have been surrounded in this business for almost 20 years, longer in sales, because in sales, this is your sale. Your sale is the stuff here by the side of your head. It isn't your mouth, it's your ears. It's listening to what people want to purchase. So if you listen, people are always going to tell you, you should do this. What's it called? The shoulda? The shoulda said.
Shoulda, woulda.
If I woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, what everybody wanted me to do, I'd be home in a fetal position wondering why I'm still alive.
Well, hello. Welcome
Poster
to our
child.
conversation.
But what I'm saying is, don't buy into that.
Easier
At
said
all.
than done.
No, it is easy.
Yeah,
You have to
no.
put your. Why is it that if I tell you, Dawn, put your nose there, let me hit it with a hammer, you'll say no? No means no.
Because what you don't understand is that when you have years and years of physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal, you can't. No, oh wait, and did I say, no, you should do it this way?
And you think that that's changing?
That becomes what you believe until
Life-
you pick yourself up.
Life will give you all the kick butt that you can ask for.
But it's not always life. Sometimes it's those circle of
People?
closest to you.
And look
That's
at the
because we're
world.
not staying true to ourselves a lot of times.
Right.
We think, oh, if I'm hanging out with those people, because they're the cooler people, I'll feel better about myself. Or I hang out with them because they seem to be the more popular crowd. But you're miserable because those are not your people. So
hold
people
on.
are not
Marnie,
who
but
they
Marnie.
are, and then they find wrong people.
Marnie, people in the world, especially Boca, you can't put on a mask because you can't ruin your makeup. So let me ask you.
No.
It's true. I've seen it.
I got makeup all over my mask. I
That's
can tell
right.
you.
Now the new trend is, I think you started, is get your face in your mask so you can have it duplicated.
It's a whole nother art.
But in Boca is a very vain town. Sorry to tell you, very vain, because there's a lot of money here. There is a senior gap in here, which I call the blue bloods. All of that exists. I get it. I understand economics as well. So when you've earned your way to there, you should enjoy life. It's really simple. But the bottom line here is, if you have something to say, then say it. Just make sure you believe what you're saying. See, I think that the fear of saying the wrong thing is what dictates who we are. I'm
Yes.
afraid to tell you you're wrong. I'm afraid to say you're doing it the wrong way. See, the word fear always pops up in our heads, and that stops us from being ourselves.
Yeah, but you don't want to hurt people along the way.
Oh, here we go.
You're helping yourself.
Let them hurt me, but I shouldn't hurt them. Okay, I got it.
I know I've spent my entire life doing what makes other, I don't want to upset them, so fine, I'll go, or I don't want to say no, I don't want their feelings, but I was getting hurt.
Well, what about
I'm
you?
like,
Right.
exactly. Once I started to do what was good for me, but it's not, and you could be kind about it. You can say, I'm so sorry, I just not able to make it. There's no reason to be rude to anybody. It's how you say something, it's not what you say.
That's a good point.
And using that acceptance for yourself, like, it's the most important, and it's not selfish. People think self-care equates selfish. It doesn't. If you're not happy and your needs are not met, you can't make anybody else happy. So it has to come with you, and then it'll trickle out everywhere else. It's not selfish at all. You have to make yourself a priority.
That's a good point. And I think that asking people questions about their thoughts, which a famous philosopher once showed all of us, is the right way to go with it. So I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just ask, why do you ask me that? Why do you think I don't know that? Why do you come up with that? Where did you come up with that? How can you tell me how to run my business if you can't run yours?
Sometimes it's just way too much effort. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't even want to engage in the conversation.
But are you going to
sometimes.
become part of what they want you to be?
Not anymore. But it took a long time to get there. Marnie, I'm looking at your book. True to Myself, Peace, Love, Marnie. You've got pictures in here. You've got all kinds of good, juicy things that
Yes.
I've never written a book, but how did you get away with doing this? I mean, these aren't even like the names have been changed to protect the innocent. These are pictures.
I know. You know what, people, you can't make up this stuff. Nobody would believe what happened. So aside from it being a fabulous, could be a fiction story, what mental health, everything that came out of it, I was like, it's my life, you know what? Here it is, people, and I just wrote everything. If I wasn't 100% authentic, it wouldn't be me. So yes, I used real names, real stories, and that was a big step for me coming to promote myself in the city where I was born and raised, where my story takes place, which is crazy.
This picture of the dancer, is this you?
That is me. I was in the gala. I was paired up with professional dancers. There were
Freddie,
5
look at
people.
this.
I've seen that picture on her Facebook.
Oh yeah.
She
I did
actually
learn-
is a professional Zumba dancer.
Oh, well,
So she does
I love Zumba. I became certified, but I didn't have enough confidence in myself to teach. So I became a professional student. But I became certified because I love it, but my fear didn't allow me to go through with it and teach. So again, I wasn't staying true to myself, and I didn't have confidence. But I did a competition, and I did not win. And people came up to me after and were like, "Oh, you should have won." And I was like, "I did win. I put on a dress this big, and I learned the samba in 2 months and had the best night of my life." So I stepped out of my comfort zone and did something I never thought I could do.
This is truly
Oh.
amazing. This is a book that touches a lot of things.
There's a lot of learning on it as well, because after each chapter, you ask yourself questions. If you were in that situation, how would you handle them differently? So it's a story, and you read it, and you're like, wow, you can also learn from it. There's something for everybody in my book.
So what's going to be the next book about?
We're making history right now, so this will be a good one. My book stopped in June, so from last June until now, I'm a trilogy. It's going to keep on going.
What did you learn from writing this book? Anything
Oh
about
my
you?
God. I learned that my child, the inner Marnie child, was never healed. So it made sense why I behaved the way I behaved, whether there were too many loud noises or too many people, whatever it was, there were these triggers I had no idea. So when I went back and I wrote about 8-year-old Marnie, I understand why I would be sad if I went to place A, B, or C. It healed me. It was the most cathartic thing I could have done in my life. The bravest and the most cathartic.
Interesting. You see, I always tell you, Marnie, when this thing all blows away and everything gets back to some kind of normalcy, having seminars where people can come and actually share their stories and talk about that it's okay not to be okay, which is the first line that I read when I met her. And I said, wow, this actually is what, you gotta, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta understand, we haven't been doing this recently through this whole epidemic for 20 minutes. We've been from beginning to end. We've been on the air, and we expanded from
Every
12
day,
to 2
yeah.
to 9 o'clock after the radio station gave us that spot. So since Minds the Park, we haven't stopped. We've grown. It isn't that we're comfortable with what's going on, but we've come to learn, just like her book, that it's okay to be okay too.
And people are saying it's good to see you and I not on a split screen. Thank you. We are still 6 feet apart, but we are not on a split screen. It makes a difference. So thank you, Santiago.
I don't know if I like this, but okay.
Yeah.
Actually, what we're going to do, Santiago,
This is why we're trying it out.
We have other sets in here, and we're going to show off a little bit. We have this set, we got other sets, and we're going to take it on the road to confined areas, not open areas, not restaurants or nothing like that yet. But we want to show.
Because this theater gives us the space to bring people in 6 feet apart, 10 feet apart, 18 feet apart, and turn the cameras around and have people in here but not sitting at the table with us. So that is why we're trying new sets, and that's, I think, going to be our new normal. Instead of that set in there, if we have guests,
The new us.
more than one, it's going to be in here with new backdrops and new sets.
And you open up the bay, and you can sit 25, 30 people out there comfortably 6 feet apart.
With
You're gonna
the
put
spritzer?
speakers. What?
With a spritzer in Florida in June.
Oh, I came up with the solution to that.
Yeah.
There happens to be a hose outside, and we're gonna have a water cannon, and we're gonna spritz people,
Bathing Suit Friday. There you go.
whatever. But we're gonna put the stage over by the door. We're gonna put a tent out there. We're gonna put speakers out there, and we're going to let the world know that this isn't gonna stop us or slow us down. Did it hurt us? Yes. Did it set some people back? Yes. I mean, you have to change your business because that business no longer is functioning. Or tomatoes.
Sweet tomatoes?
Sweet tomatoes is no longer in business in Florida because their brand of having food open where you pick it that market does not work.
Oh, wait, I remember telling you that a few years ago, and you laughed at me. Not
Well,
about them, about buffets in general.
Well, I have a solution.
My germophobia seems to be not so crazy anymore.
I have a solution, Sweet Tomatoes. If you're watching, you can still serve the food. If you have 100 sweet tomatoes and you're closing, that doesn't work. If you got 100 sweet tomatoes, you close 50. You take the money you're saving of the 50 and you hire service. So all of a sudden, the brand, you show a picture or something of what you want.
You choose
and
your salad?
You choose your salad and somebody serves it to you. You got to find a workaround, as Jen would say. Closing is not a workaround.
There's always a workaround.
They'd rather not put up with the having to do it than to do it. So.
That's, you know what, that's choice. And they will restructure. Marnie, I am so excited. Tell us when your show is.
Tomorrow night at 8:30, guys, and just the beginning. It's going to be a very funny show because we're fun people, but there's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about, how I was in such a dark place personally, but being where I wanted to be professionally saved my life. Truly, saved my life.
Marnie,
And I
do you
can't
remember
wait
the phone number to the radio station?
I do. It's, I do not able to talk about it.
888-565-4278.
I'm gonna have you put it on your laptop in front of you on a piece of paper.
Yep, and all the sounds of
People-
going to be such a good show
I'm gonna
tomorrow
tell you,
night.
you would have had 50 phone calls. Unfortunately, you gave the number out to.
She had 5, though. That was pretty good
She
in
got
30
5.
minutes.
She had more. She gave the number out to Costco and everything.
I gave 855-866-888. I was just calling me, figure out one of them more.
She also said 917.
Actually, Martin, I want to ask you a question because now as people are moving and growing their businesses, you're investing in yourself. You are financially investing, you're putting the time forward, all of that. When people ask about the ROI, what is your ROI for having your own show? What is your ROI for being on the radio? What would be your answer?
To make just to show resilience. Wow. Ooh, that's, I'm a little lost. Just resilience. Just never give up everything.
I think that's, to me, and we've talked about this for a couple of weeks, that is the word that I come with after this pandemic is resilience. I'm actually having a necklace made that has that on it.
You know, it's really funny. It's really funny, Marty. The person that invented the Q-tip, if he had listening to the reasoning, what am I going to do with this? Where's my ROI? How is a Q-tip going to make a difference? Do you know how many billions of Q-tips have been sold? Billions with a B. Do you know that with a Q-tip, the military teaches you how to defend yourself? Do you know this?
Stick it in their eye.
That's irrelevant. I'm just saying. The Q-tip has a million uses. The ROI to your show is yet to be written. People that will come and listen to your word become your sponsors, your show, and everything else. The growth of what you're doing is going to be its own ROI. You watch.
Yep. And what I
Marty?
love, I'm sorry, just people just have a very hard time believing what's in that book is here. And that's just even more of a testimony of triumphant resilience.
Have a wonderful birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for joining us on our Marnie Motivational Monday. Tune in tomorrow night, Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. on WWNN and live on her Peace Love Marnie social media page. See what's going on. You know what? I think resilience is definitely the word that I keep coming into my mind for this as well. Be safe. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
We
Marty.
love you, Marnie. Bye-bye.
I love you guys. Bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.